Hey, good morning. I don't have much of a charge left on my phone here, but when things come to me that I think that is important, one of the things that I try and do is, and this is sort of the way that my own mind, light spirit body, sort of just processes data, information, or certainly things that I'm aware of, what I call gnosis, self-knowing, self-knowledge, which in a previous video I had mentioned, particularly in my childhood, okay, that when you understand the nature of operational security at a supercluster level, right, and you know what a masquerader is, and this even includes a light warrior and a light worker, okay, which is why I mentioned in a video about trust no one, okay, because what I trust is what I know. And what I know is knowledge. The knowledge that I've learned throughout the course of all my coursework. What I know to be true. Okay? So this is why that becomes, in essence, your identity. My identity. Everyone's identity. So when I mentioned in a previous video about having a ruler in your pocket, everywhere you go, we're always measuring everything. Okay? And why is that? Because measurement is an experience of what you know versus what it is that is communicating with us. So the speed of the communication, okay, in the language in which they do it, is something that we spin through the most powerful vortex, which is your heart. Your heart is the critical thinker. It is the critical point at which the intelligence, the creativity, and the imagination exist within the cosmos, from which source creates a universe. So how much fire you got? How hot is your furnace? Which is a measurement of how hot your light is burning. So if you're running as much fire as I feel in my heart for a goddess, then you know it's got to get cooled down. Or I'll burn everything up. That's how hot it is. She knows that. Girl on the planet, she knows exactly how hot my furnace runs. For her. For her energy. Her creation ability. Her manifestation ability to present herself. Okay? So you know I got to keep her around because I always got to be anchored to her spirit. So how do I do that? By making sure that she's always feeling how much fire there is in the cosmos to experience that hot light. So for me, when I measure things, including measuring me, I measure how hot my light is burning, which is how much love do you have in your heart for everything that is. So here's an equation or a number if you want to quantify something. How much light exists within the entire tree of light from the single geometric point from which fire begins to light that light and thus produce a projector and a bidirectional echo chamber of what we all experience as a musical orchestra. What moves our spirit, which is energy in motion. So one of the things that I thought about, for example, is what I mentioned in a previous video because this is important. Toxic data or toxic input becomes metadata toxic output because it's contamination. So when you think of purity, we think of the purity of our spirit. Okay? How much contamination do we have to keep kicking out as a result of what? Fear. What is fear? It's unsane. And then what makes it unsane is that it is in fear of creation. The energy that is used to create the cosmos with. That's how unsane it is. When you have beings that are unsane and actually believe that we, as what love is, in the purity of that spirit that is creating the cosmos, that they are in fear of us and we are the ones that are unsane, make that calculation in the cosmos. It's like a virus in a computer system. It's like a virus in an information field. It's like a virus that affects everybody and drains the energy in the cosmos. It contaminates everything, everywhere it goes. And if it can find a way to go everywhere, it will do that. Which means attaching itself to us, believing it can find a way to get to the places that we exist, where it's forbidden for it to go. Now you understand operational security. There has to be a way in which we prevent that which something that doesn't exist, but we're aware of it because it does exist. How do you remove something that is in an energy field that you cannot create and you can't destroy, that you're aware of, that wants to eat away at that which love creates? That's the nature of the problem. Now we get into eraser, erasing the universe, the exponential function, the rate at which that virus, that fear, is reproducing itself, which is a split in the timeline. That's why they use technology, because we predate technology. Spirit came first. Source comes first. Love doesn't work backwards in time. It's always been. Now, granted, I understand, for example, that when you measure the spin of your light, if you will, through the vortex of your heart and how much light you're aware of that exists within everything that is within all that light in living spirit, which is, in this case here, living DNA, all your living cells that are aware of you, your spirit. So when I think of self-repair, how does a universe repair itself? Realizing it has a virus within itself. It's no different in a sort of analogous sort of way as a virus in a laptop and a computer, a virus in a supercomputer. Imagine that virus spreads. So Source is aware of the virus. So how many dimensions does it want to migrate itself from one dimension to the next? How do you cut it off? A firewall? Now you begin to understand the rate of speed, which is how much fire do you have to burn it all off. The problem with burning it all off and everything that exists that is sequenced to all those experiences that a soul has experienced as a result of the loss of its energy as a soul to something that it experienced that was traumatized as a result of what fear is. That's another number. How many souls did we lose? That's on us. That's the truth of the matter. Because I can't unknow what I'm aware of. And I'm not supposed to be aware of that, but I am. So how do you solve that problem? Oh, well, just get your speed up, and then you're not aware of it anymore. That's true. That's a simple memory wipe. That's like saying that I don't want to know that the third dimension exists, and there's a virus in the third dimension that is eating away at this universe. Sorry, I don't want to experience that because I don't want to experience that, and I have the power to be able to do that. All I got to do is go over to the Big Island, hang out where the magma and her living spirit is producing very high frequency energy, and now I'm plugged into a higher transformer. Now I'm not aware of what I was once aware of. But I can't unknow what that is. Oh, it's no longer in my memory. Yeah, but I got enough information to know within my soul that it exists. It's true. I can't unknow something that not as self-knowledge, which is true. I can't lie to myself, otherwise I'm not sane. Wait a second, sanity is what love is. That's sanity. Fear is insanity. Who do you want to believe? What is the universe you believe you live in? Because the one that you believe you live in is the one you experience. That's why when I was a child, I'm not supposed to be experiencing this. But yet I am. But no, I'm not. Well, don't give it any energy and you won't experience it. Well, that's easy enough to do. But they exist, don't they? Somebody invented it. Somebody came up with fear, which is a loss of energy. How do we solve that problem? Go back to before they were invented. Remember? That's called recovery. Just like when I talk to another spiritual friend of mine, I'm going, look at how much did we lose here? That's another number. That's another measurement. Remember, we walk around with a ruler. We measure who we are against how the health and wellness of the entire cosmos. See, if you are what love is, and you're running a hot light bulb, okay, then you know that wherever there is a loss of energy or a loss of light, where any soul is experiencing something less than what it is, that's a problem that has to be solved, isn't it? Because I know, because that's what empathy is, then anything that I experience, and in this particular dimension, in this planet ship, I was actually sort of amazed when I realized that a little tiny insect, only an inch long, okay, that even though I was trying to get him off my mattress, I hurt one of them. I cried. I realized how deep, when you consider what harming another living thing is, goes to the source. I'm not supposed to experience that, what I just did. But I wasn't trying to do that. Now you're experiencing the pain that you did. No, that's not supposed to happen. That little being's not supposed to experience the pain and suffering itself because now I'm aware of it. Throw that into the hopper. Throw that into your vortex in your heart. Process what that means to us because that's how we measure ourselves against everything else that communicates to us. Who they are. So now we're measuring speed measurements, aren't we? The speed of the communication, which is the speed of the thought form of what is experienced in the entire cosmos. Now measure that when it comes to no time and time. Think about that for the day. Have a great day. I love you all. Aloha lani akea.